Hello, people of the internet. It is your boy Kishuishi, and today we are currently recorded live from my studio known as the office of my place of work. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. You know, I say that every single time I record one of these, but no, it's actually gonna be different today because what we're doing today is actually everything that you're watching right now. If you do decide to watch till the end of the video, is recorded, edited, and uploaded from the comfort of my work office, if you can even call it comfort. Now, speaking on the topic of safety, that's a thing in our modern society that is ruining everything in terms of creative expression. Safety is what you need outside of creativity. What do I mean by that? In every facet of your life, if you want to succeed, you need some level of risk. And in the modern year of 2026, everybody is so averse to risk that it's surprising that anyone is ahead of anyone else. But the funny thing is, the people that do the most riskiest of all behaviors tend to be the ones that come out on top. Once again, what do I mean by this? And this is going to be a beautiful segue right here, right now. One of the biggest risks you can take when it comes to expressing yourself creatively, and I'm going to keep this towards on the creative side, not the business side, because if I was a multi-millionaire billionaire who was a savvy businessman, I wouldn't be making these videos for my all two viewers that watch my shit. But the thing I wanted to specifically highlight is the concept of boobs in the thumbnail, boobies, bazookas, you know, the big bouncing betties. That is that is a risk that a lot of people have decided to take away when it comes to creative expression. And instead, what we have now on the internet, and you know, almost all of our problems do go back to what's going on the internet, it's something that people are just using for their own benefit. And what do I mean by this? Boobies. You wanna know the fastest way you can get a bunch of likes on Instagram? Just slap a pair of tits on the thumbnail. Back in the day of YouTube, and I'm going to say the golden era of YouTube back in 2013, 2014, PewDiePie literally made a video called Boobs in the Thumbnail. And that video was fire. Yes, the song was kind of ass, but the entire time I was just looking at those bouncing betties because what else would I be looking at? I like boobs. Everybody likes boobs. Even girls like boobs. If girls didn't like boobs, they'd cut them off and turn into boys. Oh, wait. Anyways, yeah, and not specifically talking about boobs. I know it's gotten to the point in this video where it's like, oh, this nigga is just horny as hell. He's just talking about titties. But no, the concept of sex appeal and creativity is one of the things that it's a low common denominator thing. But despite it being a low common denominator, it's something that you need to take into consideration when you're making something that's supposed to appeal to a wide audience. I watched a video recently where they were talking about goon games and like how, yeah, a lot of goon games do end up making money because the gooner fan base or the gooner base for any niche is usually the most profitable niche to take from. I mean, look at human society. The OnlyFans girls are making a whole bunch of money because of the gooner fan bases, which is what I don't like. Why is it that instead of, this is a thing that's really stupid. I can open up my phone right now, scroll on Instagram for a total of 8 seconds, and I can see 5 pairs of tits and ass. But then when I open up my television, watch a movie, everyone's either fucking ugly or fat. And let me not even get into the games. Like, if I want to play a game that has characters that look semi-attractive, and I'm saying characters, not just women, but men, if I want to play a game where the main character or like the ensemble cast of characters actually are attractive, fit people where it would make sense. Oh yeah, you know what? I can totally see this guy with a six-pack raiding dungeons. You know what I mean? Yeah, now in the big year 2026, you get anywhere between heroin chic, like on the precipice of death, like one fucking singular molecule of sweat can fall off the tip of my nose onto this nigga and he dies from fucking malnutrition. Or you get the complete opposite where the characters are just fucking fat and gay. And I mean that in the most nicest way possible. Like, it's okay to be fat and it's okay to be gay. But if you put both of them together and you're proud of it, my nigga, sit the fuck down. Don't be proud of that shit. Don't sit the fuck down. You're fat and you're gay. Like, come on, bro. You can't be doing that. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is bring back the stuff that was controversial in the past. You can make it tasteful. It's very easy to make sexuality tasteful when it comes to making media, especially if it's media that's supposed to get a wide audience. And yes, I understand there's children among us, but I would rather my child growing up, if and when I have a child, I'd rather my child grow up seeing people in media that are sexually attractive. And, you know, just think about it this way. Why would I want my child to consistently watch content where the characters are ugly, fat, and gay? And not only that, they're terrible people, or they're just lazy as fuck. Like, there's no adventure that's going on. If the adventure is going on, they have a bad attitude the entire time. Why would I want my little boy or my little girl, when I eventually have them, to watch that? Because one thing people don't understand when it comes to media, and it's crazy to me that a lot of people don't see this concept playing out in their own lives, but the type of media that you watch on a regular basis, it affects you whether or not it reaffirms your own beliefs or it changes your own beliefs. At the end of the day, what you see on a screen for multiple hours a day affects you on a very deep psychological level. So with that same exact analogy that I just said, I would rather my child watch the most hottest character ever doing the most coolest shit. Because you want to know why? Having a child watch something like that, where it's like, oh look, Nathan Drake, and I keep going back to Nathan Drake. I swear, like EDP, I'm not gay, bro. I totally did not put a broomstick up my ass. You see a good-looking male figure or a good-looking female figure, but I'm saying this from the male perspective. You see a good-looking male figure doing a bunch of cool stuff, saying the witty lines and getting the woman. What does that do to your brain? It makes you want to aspire to be that, especially if you're a young child. Anything that you consume in an entertainment sense is behavior you tend to want to mimic. And I understand, oh, but toxic masculinity, shut the fuck up. Toxic masculinity, shut up. I'm not talking about, oh, I want my son at the age of 5 to watch The Punisher and gets this complex of, oh, if something bad happens to my family, that gives me the right to fucking kill any and everyone, which I know that's not the reason behind The Punisher, but, you know, Punisher is not really a hero, it's an anti-hero. But I'd rather him watch something like that, because at least that will let my son know what having a conviction is, versus, I swear to God, I put Supergirl to death, but I'm not even going to talk about the plot of Supergirl. I'm just going to give an example. But I would rather him watch, or her, you know, children are children. At a certain age, you can raise both a girl and a boy at the same way, but at a certain age, you know, when the secondary sexual characteristics start being implemented, you gotta let them know, hey, as a boy, you're gonna be stronger than your female counterparts, so you can't play with them the same way you play with other boys. And for my daughter, not God forbid, but if I do have a daughter, hey honey, you're getting to the age where the boys in your grade are gonna be much stronger than you. So as a young lady, you can't interact with them the same way you used to. And to preserve your, well, I'm not gonna say all this, because imagine saying all this shit to a fucking 11-year-old. Oh, to preserve your innocence, you should, like, no. I'm just gonna be like, hey, boys are stinky, and especially at this age, boys are really stinky. So outside of your brother and like male family members, don't get too involved with boys, or some shit along those lines. But at the end of the day, boobs, beautiful segue. At the end of the day, boobs is what gives us life. Having boobs and things will make the world a better place, especially a nice Percocet, Molly, okay. Yeah, essentially what I'm just saying is, take some more risk, Hollywood. Yeah, I'm taking a page out of Anita Sarkeesian's book. But Hollywood, just take a risk. You know, start making people sexy again. We're sick and tired of seeing these fucking homunculi on our screens. And yes, I mean homunculi. I'm talking about Elliot Page. Bro, you do not know how devastated I was, and I know, oh wow, you're worried about another man. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You don't know how devastated I was back when I think I was in high school, but I found out Ellen Page transitioned to Elliot Page, because, you know, this isn't really a popular crush, or like a popular celebrity crush. But growing up, I had the biggest crush on Ellen Page, especially after playing Beyond Two Souls and watching X-Men. Like, Ellen Page was like one of the top tier white women in my eyes. I guess that has to change, because now it's a white man. And homunculus. Yeah, I'm still staying with that comment. Fuck you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, do all the engagement metrics. You know, YouTube's gonna switch over pretty soon with the view botters galore. Yeah, you click on this video for a singular microsecond, that's a view, my nigga. Anyways, peace, be good people, and I love y'all.